Hello, peoples and persons of all ages. It is I, Kazrium, and as you can maybe tell, I've had a slow couple of months on the old content grind. But a couple of weeks ago, just when my despair and daily head smashes into my desk came to an end, I pulled up the equally depressing cesspool that is Twitter, and oh my Titan!
Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
The Owl House Season 3, Part 1 of 3 premieres October 15th. Well, that morsel of hope pulled me back from the slump, and just like last week, I'm ready to slap a spicy spoiler pie of a video on this platform for you all to enjoy. Today, I want to go over every little detail we know about Season 3, both this first special and anything we know beyond, as well as give my own predictions as what's likely to happen, at least in this first part, that is. Like I needed another video distraction for that loose analysis I promised almost a year ago.
Wrong!
Let's start with the details that are actually supposed to be publicly available before we move on to the subject of the night market provided info. So, spoilers on clips, trailers, and descriptions of Season 3, Part 1, thanks to them. Reading the episode description, right off the bat, we know that it'll take place primarily in the human realm in Luz's hometown of Gravesfield. More interestingly, we know that there will be a significant time skip of at least a few months fairly early on in the episode. This makes sense why this promotion for Disney's October slate of content included Luz with much more hair than we've ever seen her with. Which brings us to those clips that Disney so kindly provided. Going in the most likely chronological order, we actually start with clip 2 for some odd reason. Thanks Disney for not making that at all confusing. This clip sees Luz and Hunter reflecting on their time in Belos's mind, with Luz overcome with guilt on her helping Belos find the collector in the first place, and Hunter still worried about how they all might react to finding out he's a clone of Belos's brother, and more importantly, a witch hunter. They both end up reassuring each other and resolve to tell the others in their own time. Later on in the clip, Camila rehashes the end of Season 2, and Luz very subtly lies about not knowing how Belos found the collector. So, about the whole telling them in their own time agreement that Luz and Hunter have. I think that Hunter is probably okay here. After all, he has no control over how he was created, plus Gus just speedran Hollow Mind, so he likely knows of Hunter's true origin already. On top of that, it's pretty understandable for him to wait to tell the others about it until he's emotionally ready to. Luz, on the other hand, is going to be facing a bit of an uphill battle on forgiveness. Not because she helped Belos, sure that was bad, but she didn't do it intentionally, and any one of them could have made the same mistake if they were in her shoes. The man's a master manipulator, I talked about this in my previous video. No. The reason why I think Luz is going to be having some issues in gaining forgiveness is because even after all the times Amity has given her the benefit of the doubt by quickly forgiving her for lying and simply asking her to communicate with her so that they can work things out together, Luz yet again lies to her. Something that will definitely be coming up in that analysis I promised. Sure, maybe they'll just let it go in the same way they had before, and probably will for Hunter, but don't be surprised if you see Amity getting into a fight with Luz over her continuing to lie to her despite their reconciliation in reaching out. Moving on to clip number 2, wait, 1. Damn it, Disney. Clip 1 shows everyone getting settled into their new temporary home in a couple of comedic bits. Hunter and Gus are sharing a room in the basement, with Gus fascinated by the human treasures all around them, and Hunter being overly gracious in typical Hunter fashion. Amity, Willow, and V are all bunking in Luz's room, in a scene where V very calmly wants to warn Amity and Willow about how an alarm clock works, only for them to destroy it during the demonstration. It seems that over these next few months, Amity and Willow are going to be overly optimistic about new human things, while V will be enduring their antics in what can only be described as a perpetual state of bruh. We also just got a trailer showing off some pretty interesting things, some within the 6-minute episode teaser and some not. So let's start with the stuff that wasn't in it. We have Luz once again making a video diary talking about her experience in the Boiling Isles, with some regret on her actions while she was there and her determination to fix what she's done. By the length of her hair, it's likely that this takes place after the time skip, unlike the clips that they posted. It's probably not immediately after, but still fairly early on in the episode. We then have Hunter and Luz in both Hooty and King-inspired masks respectively, all the way down to the chipped horn on Luz's mask. Luz pulls a sheet out of the way in what appears to be the old shack that the Isles was connected to. She's carrying her bat for protection, while Hunter very suspiciously has a bandage wrapped around his index finger. I'm guessing that this is later on in the episode, so maybe he gets a cut and everyone realizes he's not a witch from that? This feels like a detail that's going to be important because it's actually normal earlier in the episode. And just in case you were wondering, no, it's definitely not a part of his Halloween costume from the end of the trailer either. The outfits are completely different. The two later in the trailer open a door leading to the basement of the shack, as we can see with the cobwebs hanging from the support beams and the silhouette of the two at the top of the stairs. Moving on to another shot, we see the front of the shack during the day with a cute little Hooty drawn on the front of it. Everyone seems happy inside, but Amity seems concerned by something out there. I think it's probably likely that Luz just left and did her best to reassure everybody about something, or vice versa, and left pretending to be okay, but Amity knew better that something was wrong. If not that, then maybe Luz is on her way inside? No clue. We then have quick flashes of shots of someone, most likely Luz, reaching at some very coincidental decorations at the top of her bunker ceiling. Everyone cautious about a box that Amity's holding in the old shack. It could be something that they found there by all of them, or maybe Luz found something from the Historical Society and excitedly brought it back only for it to appear as a dead end, leading to that shot of the Hooty door I was talking about earlier. And a shot of Willow, Gus, Amity, and Hunter pointing at some mysterious icons that likely hint at what they need to recreate a portal door. While the ribbon and the icon next to it are unknown in their meaning, Titan's blood is certainly the obvious bottom icon. That said, it's my guess that this shape on the right is a top-down view of whatever this box was from earlier, with some supporting evidence being added last minute with an official still that was released from the show. In it, the number of corners on the box line up with this icon, though it is worth noting that the sides are curved in the image and not on the box. If what I said earlier is true, then the reason why it might appear to be a dead end is because you need the other two pieces, the Titan's blood and the ribbon. Also, something that you might have missed are these pictures at the top. Turns out if you rotate them, there's supposed to be a map showing some houses, a tree, and a hill overlooking them. We then get Hunter aggressively asking someone if they knew someone else was there. He's almost definitely talking about Bellows. It then cuts to Hunter putting his hands over his ears to avoid spoilers about his new favorite human show, not Star Trek, original story, Do Not Steal. Also, in the background, Gus, Willow, and Amity hung up pictures of their loved ones back in the Boiling Isles, and dang, Hunter, you didn't add a picture of Darius? That's gold, man. He taught you how to sew. That is a sacred bond. Oh, and I guess he helped save your life. Whatever. The last shot's not for the New York Comic Con panel shows Gus, Amity, V, and Willow heading into the giraffe exhibit at the zoo. Willow takes a picture of one, and my sleep paralysis demon shows me that nowhere is safe and that it can invade everything that I know and love. Outside of that last trailer, we know that a voice actor for supporting roles of the Owl House, Aaron Hansen of Game Grumps fame, has confirmed that he indeed voices a character in Thanks to Them. He didn't elaborate on which character he voices, which does make sense. Now all of this is fine and dandy, but some of you aren't here for the clips that Disney decided you get to see. You want something with a little more drama, flair, and face paint. Well, now it's time to address the snaggle back in the room. As I was creating this script, the entire episode may or may not have ended up leaking, and I want to be clear that I have not seen, nor would I ever attempt to gain access to the episode earlier than the team intended, as should you. Out of respect for the creative team, I will not be showing any screenshots that were leaked from the full episode. But that does give me another moral dilemma. Sure, the full episode's off limits, but what about the 6-minute footage posted all over the internet? I mean, I've seen that, and isn't me talking about it in great detail just as disrespectful as me actually showing you the footage? There's a lot to consider, and while I'd love to just show you the footage, I'm gonna do what I think is right and not show it. Instead, I'll be using shots from the trailer and giving my thoughts on those particular scenes, and that is final. Okay, maybe just one exception for this adorable Palisman bed. It's cute, okay? And it's only a few seconds after the first 6 minutes. Give me a break. Starting with the beginning minute of this episode, the audio was publicly broadcasted at the panel, so that part's okay. It opens with a quick recap of King's Tide and leads directly into this episode. Literally the next shot after King's Tide ended. A bit later, and Luz gets some bandages with just the most convenient art on them, leading into clip 1. No, 2. Anyway, Camila reassures them that they're all safe there, and now we're in clip 1. After the end of that, Luz tries to explain herself to her mom, but she just embraces Luz, telling her that everything was okay and that they could talk later. Luz still feels bad for her friends though, and now we've entered the intro/time passage montage of the episode. The first thing that I can actually talk about in this intro is this shot here of Camila hugging Luz and Amity. Clearly they've just told her about their relationship and she is thrilled. This scene is really great, and all I can say is that what follows is a shot that surely had the full support of the Disney censorship team with absolutely no pushback whatsoever. Oh, and Camila has a gray strand in her hair. Guess the extra mouths to feed has taken a bit of a toll on her, what with Willow and Amity slowly dismantling the house with magic. We then transition to some new outfits, completing this epic assembly of Earth's mightiest heroes, as well as a furry who wandered into the shot at the time of recording. In perhaps my favorite part of these first few minutes, we have Hunter reading up on the person he's cloned from, causing him to literally reflect on just who he is with this awesome shot of the light refracting between him, Caleb, and Bellows. And geez, Hunter, Bellows must have added way too much Palstrom wood into his mix because it's only been a few months and it looks like he's had years worth of hair growth. Anyway, the kids try to build a portal that, to the dismay of Luz, catches on fire. Thankfully, Amity is of course there for her. And coming towards the end of what we have, the prophecy of all Lumity fans everywhere is fulfilled as Luz introduces Amity to the human realm's reign. I know that she should technically know that it's safe because of their first night there, but ding darn dang, this is just the cutest thing ever, and I don't even care about the inconsistency. The rest of the kids join in the fun as Willow snaps a photo of them all as Amity and Luz adorably come full circle on their first like lift from convention. Beyond that, info's a bit murky going into rumor territory, so here's my final predictions as to what's going to happen in this episode. I believe that Luz's Palisman will not end up hatching in this episode, that Philip will be dealt with once and for all, and that Amity will at the very least get upset at Luz. Not for helping Bellows, but for once again lying to her. Maybe either Hunter, by accident, Bellows, or both end up letting it slip to the rest of the group. And you know what? I don't think Luz and the gang are going to end up entering the Boiling Isles by the end of this episode. I feel like everyone else thinks that's what's going to happen, so I'll spice it up and choose something different. As far as what you all as a community predicted, I'll try to have the boards out later today, if not tomorrow. Interestingly, the second most likely character that 57% of you thought would die besides Bellows by the end of this season is King as a sacrifice of some kind. That one honestly surprised me, as well as a few other picks, so keep your eyes peeled for a community post on that coming soon, or check the link in the description. And that's essentially everything we know. Comment down below if I missed anything that is publicly available, and subscribe for this week's video of everything you missed from Thanks to Them. I have really missed those videos. I am super excited to be doing those again. Oh, and one more detail actually, I almost forgot. Did anyone else notice that the show actually explicitly calls out the date October 15th in its first episode? Interesting, right? What if that was on purpose? What if we can confirm the premiere dates for both the other parts by finding days written down throughout the show? Perfect! Let's see if there's any other dates we can find. Ah.